Welcome back, guys, to our Gen 1 ranking. If you missed it, we went through one part already, doing from 1 to 51. We ended with Doug Trio, I believe.
Doug Trio, yep.
So we are back here to finish off or get through some more. Depends on how much time we have and how long it takes us to debate the Pokemon. We have cleared our tier ranking chart thing for now because there was a lot of Pokemon. This way we can kind of go through and figure out where we want to put Pokemon for this time, and then we'll bring them all back together and see where everyone kind of sits. Maybe move a few around then. So, does that sound good?
Sounds like a plan.
All right, we'll start off. Our first one for today is Meowth,
which is like the best Pokemon ever because he can talk.
At least that one can, from Team Rocket. But then you get other ones that can't.
I know, he meets up with a whole bunch of other Meowths and they don't talk.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also horrible to play with. I don't think I've ever played with him or his evolution version.
I mean, I like him. He's not like one of my favorites. I like him more in the anime, but I like this Meowth better than a Alola Meowth.
Oh my gosh, yeah. He's freaky looking.
Maybe like a C.
A C, but he can talk.
Okay, so then I won't say C or D. where
I can agree C is fine.
You think C is good?
The only reason why he's any good is while he's with Team Rocket is that he does talk and he can also translate for all the other Pokemon. So he's very nice to have around. However, he's not a good fighter. He does sprinkle down some money for you with coins, but
Payday.
I mean, other than that, other than being rich and being able to actually talk and communicate with a Pokemon, which is totally awesome.
Well, sure, but you could talk to like Mewtwo or Arceus or like a lot of other cool Pokemon instead of Meowth.
But those guys are intimidating. Meowth isn't going to kill you in your sleep.
He scratched my face up, and he's a cat. He's a D. No, I'm fine.
C for cat.
I'll leave him in C. All right, well then the evolution. What about Persian?
So yeah, Persian's not as cool. That's like Team Rocket's boss's cat, and he seems to be like a little butthead.
What, Giovanni's?
Yeah.
Wait, so Persian's less cool than Meowth?
Yeah, Meowth at least talks and has attitude.
So you don't, okay. All right. I mean, I can't put it too high. It's a cat, but I think it's a little bit more elegant, and I don't know. I also keep thinking of Alolan Persian, and I just like, what were they thinking?
Oh my gosh.
So goofy.
Yeah, we're not doing Alolan. Alolan Persian is like the weirdest looking evolution.
It's pretty weird.
And especially on a lot of the cards where it's only 2D and like there's not even like much dimension to it. There's no way that he's above Meowth.
Not above Meowth? But
He's
it's also
not
Giovanni's like ace in a way. Like it's always with him.
But he sucks whenever you have to battle him on Pokemon Go. Persian kicks my butt every time.
Which pushes how much better he is than some. Like he withstands a lot of random stuff sometimes.
But he's so meh.
Yeah. Alright, I'll put him next to Meowth as a C. What's gonna be fun is going through and trying to figure out when we have all of them, like, alright, how do they rank among each other with some of these little increases, so. Alright, are you okay with a C then?
Yeah.
Where's your vote?
No, C. It would be along with Meowth, but lower than Meowth because Meowth can talk.
Alright.
And translate and give you money.
So if Persian could do those things, he'd be higher. Yeah. How about this little headache machine?
Aww.
We got Psyduck.
I love how
Number
upset
54.
Misty always gets with him.
Yeah.
Poor Psyduck. But then once his headache finally explodes, it's pretty epic.
Yeah, sure. I would say I probably prefer Psyduck over Golduck.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And it's like, it's not a major mascot, but it's like a semi-mascot to me. Like, he's around more than a lot of other Pokemon.
He's out of his Pokeball a lot more, so I can understand why you think that he's more of a mascot. But...
well, where's he on the grand scheme of everything?
well, he can't talk.
So that's better? Or worse?
That's worse.
So what, just anything that can't talk? I mean, he says
No.
sigh, sigh. He goes, oh.
Yeah,
Right?
I like his storyline with Misty. However, I did use Psyduck and Golduck in a couple of decks playing. Like, they were decent.
Like, I like Psyduck more than Meowth.
I like his storyline better than Meowth.
That's a good part of Psyduck. So where's your vote? My vote's gonna be B, I think. Lower B.
Low B, I can understand that.
You go with that?
I guess so, yes.
I'm waiting for you to argue with me about something.
What do you mean?
Where are we putting Golduck?
Ooh, E?
E.
I don't know. I don't like him very much.
Because why? What don't you like?
Well, what is there to like?
I mean, it's a stronger Psyduck, but he is kind of...
He's funny
odd.
looking. He looks like a dinosaur. Not even dinosaur duck. I was gonna say a dinosaur duck, but he doesn't even look like a dinosaur duck. He looks like a what is it called? A diplopotamus?
Hippopotamus?
No, a ducky from
Ducky?
Land Before Time.
Well, should it... So you think an E?
I don't. That's what I suggested.
See, this is why we should have left some of the other Pokemon up, too, because it's like, where do we have... Who do we have here? You know, we had Charmeleon.
I know that we have Golbat. Golbat was in D as well.
We have Charmeleon in D. So, like, is he with Golbat?
Charmeleon was such a little punk. I mean, come on. Even whenever he evolved into Charizard, he was still a punk.
Well, sure. Charmeleon's when he started not listening, too. After the Executors.
Yep.
How about D, then, for Psyduck?
D for duck.
Or Golduck, I mean. D for duck, sure. We'll go there. Let's move on to Mankey.
We don't have an M.
Well, no, but Mankey, he's a monkey. I don't know.
Like,
I don't
storyline, we didn't get much with him.
He gets angry.
Yeah, a whole group of them, right? A whole bunch of Mankeys and Primates.
I don't know. I remember something about stealing his hat.
Right.
He stole Ash's hat or whatever, right? Mankey or Primate. I mean, he's a fun fighting Pokemon. You can get him early on, but I also would prefer to have probably, like, Machop.
Yeah, like, Mankey
You know?
doesn't do anything for me, you know?
But in Scarlet Violet, they made it better.
Is he still a Mankey or is he an Alolan Mankey?
No, you get Mankey and you get Primate, and now he's a third evolution.
Oh, I see.
Annihilate.
Ooh, that's kind of a fun name.
Mankey's not my favorite. I get you there. I don't dislike him.
He might be there with Golduck.
Yeah, I think he's a D Pokemon for me. And then
they just don't have any of the nostalgia or anything there for me.
I mean, I like the fighting monkey idea. I think it's neat,
yeah, I think it's fun.
but
I mean, Primeape is just the same thing as Mankey.
but he has boxing gloves.
Oh.
He's in his prime.
Okay.
So, C. I would say though, his evolution that they added in Scarlet Violet definitely brings it up for me. It's
really?
It's really cool. They added a whole new move that you have to use, and you have to like KO Pokemon with a certain move, and then you can get them to evolve.
Oh, that's fun.
So, but it's really neat. Though it's a little sad. He's a ghost Pokemon, and it's like his anger killed him, and now he's a rage ghost Pokemon.
What?
But I'd probably say C. But I would probably end up putting Annihilate up here in A or B.
Okay.
Are you good with C?
I think so. Like, just as long as it's not S, A, or B, you know, like it lower tier.
Okay. Right in the middle. What about Growlithe?
I love Growlithe.
Uh-huh.
No, he's not E.
I'm just making him a little smaller. Where do we put
Perfect.
This? What? No, where do we put him? We can't just put him in the center of the Pokeball. I would like him around Psyduck, probably.
Yeah.
Up in the B's, right? Because I'd say the next evolution is better.
He's better.
Right?
He is, but I don't know if Arcanine is A tier or not.
Yeah? I mean, he's like a pseudo-legendary from Gen 1 in a way, right? Like, he's fairly strong.
He's amazing.
I think they almost made him a legendary Pokemon, and they decided not to. I think the Pokedex in the first game says that he's like a legendary dog. Or
like,
look
look at how gorgeous he is. He looks like part lion, part tiger, and then he's also part dog, and like, he's just beautiful. I used him in like every deck that I made. Like,
Water Dex, didn't matter.
Yep. Well, it's nice to throw in the fire just to have something different.
Okay. So are you saying like top of B?
Yeah.
Is that what you think? I think I'm okay with that. I would like him more than Growlithe. The evolution just is really good.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, I'm good with that for now. Next up, number 60, we got Poliwag. I didn't use him much, but I like the Poly evolution line.
I used Poliwrath a few times. He was pretty good in Dex and everything.
It's also like a neat play on like the Tadpole evolution line and stuff. Even having like, they have a little psychic hypnosis kind of thing that they do. But
Right.
that's very much resembling like a real life frog evolving where you can like see their intestines
True.
like inside, evolving, growing.
But at the same time, then they failed with having Poliwrath not being a frog in the first generation.
Yeah, but he's like a big old punchy dude.
He is a
And
big
he's-
old punchy
and
dude.
he turns fighting.
But like you had like the tadpole idea, and then you didn't follow through until 3 generations later.
And we have a lot of tadpole frog things now.
Yeah.
There's at least...
Well, I mean Politoed is what I'm referring to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we get to Politoed eventually.
I
'Cause
don't
they did a lot of those. They brought in Scizor.
Mhm.
You know, they started kind of adding in different evolutions or pre-evolutions and stuff. Baby Pokemon and stuff like that.
True.
What about
I remember Baby.
C? Is my vote, maybe.
He's bottom tier. I can't really remember much of his storyline in the anime, or is he in any of the games that I really play? You know, like Unite or like.
Sure. Man, that'd be fun, though. I like the idea of having a water fighting Pokemon. You'd be an all-rounder, probably.
That would be, yeah.
Or you could make him a defender, probably. But I'd say all-rounder would be good.
Do we have 3-step evolution for defenders?
Blastoise.
True.
What about the evolution? Poliwhirl. I like Poliwhirl less than Wrath.
Okay, it's always those middle generations that just kind of just.
Like, I think you're right. There's a lot of, like, when you have a 3-step evolution, I mean, even starters, right? So many people are like, oh, I love this starter and what it evolves into. But they don't usually talk about the middle evolution. They talk about the beginning and the end, you know? So, like, I'd say, like, maybe D, but Poliwrath.
Which is so sad. Like the middle evolution is like the, you know, puberty stage. You know, no one likes a teenager while they're acting out in their puberty stage. Listen to us. We have one.
I suppose so. Also, like, it's not like you don't see that much change, really, I feel like, between the two. The eyes get angry and his hands get bigger, you know?
I mean, just as much as like Primeape and
No,
Mankey.
there's at least, like, there's some boxing gloves. And,
Okay, his hands get bigger.
And his tail goes away.
Oh, and he has armbands now.
Yeah. But, like, you know, Poliwag loses a tail and Poliwhirl, you know, grows his hands. But then Poliwrath is just, like, a little bit bigger of Poliwhirl.
Yeah.
I feel like Mankey looks more like a monkey. And then Primeape turns a little bit more mannish, loses the tail, gets the boxing glove
More
kind of things.
ape-ish.
I guess, yeah. More apish, sure, because it's losing the tail for sure, right? So, I don't know. Poliwrath, it's not my favorite of Pokemon, but I don't dislike it a lot. Maybe C's fine with me for that.
Okay.
Where are you at?
I mean, higher up than Poliwhirl.
That's a little higher.
So.
Just a little higher. Alright, move on 63 then?
Yep.
Abra. Oh no, where'd it go?
It always happens. That's exactly what I was going to say. You throw one Pokeball, boom, it's gone.
Yeah, it's tricky to catch. It's always teleporting. You can, like, try to put it to sleep and then hurry up and get it, you know, like, get a catch or something, but sometimes your sleep fails.
But, I mean, like, whenever you caught him, though, you always were so proud of yourself, you know?
Sure.
Like, you're
And-
like, yes, I did it. And his whole line ends up being epic.
Yeah, the evolution line's great.
I love his line.
Okay, so where do they go? Where does this line go?
I mean, he's higher than Meowth. I'd say he's there with Psyduck.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think about the rest of them too, like where
Well,
they're going. So okay, so let's say Abra goes B, right?
Yep.
And then Kadabra, right? He gets a spoon.
He
He's
does.
ready to nom nom some cereal.
Which I think he's there with B as well. I think he's pretty
See,
cool.
this is what I was thinking. I'm like, is this whole line just like B, maybe A for Alakazam?
I think A for Alakazam.
Because I'm okay with A for Alakazam.
Yeah, I like Alakazam.
Like, it's cool, it's strong, he's glass cannon-y. Like, that's kind of what he is, right?
He's fun. I just like the concept of him. I like him using his telekinesis. Is that what it is? And then also bending the spoons. Like,
yeah.
It was just a lot of fun to watch him. It felt so different than any other Pokemon.
Sure, no. And he was one of my favorites, especially back in the cards and stuff. Do you know that they haven't printed a Kadabra card in, like, I think it's like 12 years?
Wow.
Something to do with some kind of, like, I think there was some kind of lawsuit with some guy who was like, bending spoons is my thing, kind of thing. So, like, they had to, like, kind of stop printing this card.
So is that why Alakazam has a straight card and straight spoon?
I don't know. Because, like, Alakazam's been around. Or they've done, like, Mega Alakazams or something like that.
Right, or V's, right?
And they also did a thing with Abra where Abra could evolve straight into Alakazam using a special move or something like that. But they just haven't printed a Kadabra. So that was weird. Alright, I'm good with Alakazam and A. I like that. I think he's strong. He's definitely one where it's like, oh, I hope I get an Alakazam, but you find an Abra and you're like, I hope I catch an Abra.
Yeah.
It's so hard, so. But also, like, I like Abra because you have the teleport ability to take you back to Pokemon centers in the game, which was really cool.
Which is very convenient, yeah.
So, I'm good with that. Machop.
I like Machop.
I do too.
He's up there with Abra with me.
I don't have any complaints on that.
These were two evolutionary lines in a row that I very much enjoyed.
No, I'm good with Machop. I think him, like that whole line, it's one of my favorite fighting. Like, I like, you know, Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee really cool. I like Primeape and stuff like that, but, like, I think there's something about the Machop line that I thought was, like, this is great. I love this. I love the arms, the Goro look to him.
Yeah.
All right, so there's Machop. What about Machoke?
I mean, his arms only get bigger.
They do. That's true. His neck also disappears.
Yeah, not so fond of that. He's definitely the Arnold of all the Pokemon, you know?
I don't know. I think, like, I really like the look of Machop. Machoke's just a bigger version of him, and it's cool. But I don't know if I like him as much as Machop, for me.
I think he's still B tier for me, though. Maybe lower than Psyduck, but...
Okay.
Machoke and Kadabra are two middle evolutions that I actually can tolerate and enjoy.
Gotcha.
Like, because whenever you see him in the anime, he's moving stuff, like he's being useful, he's not being a little punk, he's
sure.
Like, you know, like, it's good to have one around.
Yeah, okay.
So.
All right, well, let's put him in B tier for now,
All
and
right.
we can toss up our Machamp.
Which now he has 4 epic arms. Still no neck.
And there's more of a neck than a choke, honestly. It's weird. Like, it's hard to see, but, like, Machoke's just, his shoulders go way up here, but his shoulders go back, and he grows 2 new ones.
So that's what Machoke is in the middle of doing. That's why his shoulders are starting to raise up.
I like Machoke. I like what they did with him in Sun and Moon, where he, like, carried me around
Yeah.
and stuff. I thought that was fun. And also, like, yeah, I think him and Alakazam both are, like, some of my favorites of their typings, especially in Gen 1.
Yeah, by far.
So, I'm okay with A, if you're okay with A.
Oh, 100%.
All right. Number 69. Bellsprout. Where do you put Bellsprout?
So we went through, like, you know, 3-step evolutionary lines that I absolutely love.
Okay. Do you not like the Bellsprout line? Is that what you're gonna say?
I don't really care for the Bellsprout line.
There are a lot of grass Pokemon evolution lines. They all have like 3 step, right?
Right.
And they're like all grass poison. And I'm always like, man, couldn't you have done some different things back in Gen 1? No, I kind of agree on Bellsprout a little bit. Like, if you didn't pick Bulbasaur, you can find him fairly early and it's helpful.
Yeah.
But I always pick Bulbasaur, so I'm like, I don't need this Pokemon. I'm not that interested in it. And you could also do like Oddish, and I liked Oddish more.
But I do like the concept of Bellsprout. Like, he's kind of fun looking, I guess.
Funny looking?
Like, there are some flowers out there that do have that bell and that droop to it.
Well, and
so,
the growth up to like a Venus flytrap.
yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
So, I don't know.
He is D tier for me.
Yeah. I was going between D and E. I'm okay with that. His evolution line with a weeping bell.
It's fun watching him bounce in the TV show.
Yeah.
But
I think I like him more than Bellsprout. Maybe not much more though. Maybe like down here more.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
He's still like D tier for me.
If you were D, I'll go with C.
Now, Victory Bell, I actually really liked. I really was excited to get his card, like especially the holographic, whenever I would pull that.
Sure.
He did become decent to use.
Oh, he's Venus flytrap.
I know, he's a Venus flytrap.
Right, it's kind of cool. I mean, I like the pull from nature of what these are representing.
Yeah.
It's really cool, and I like when they do that kind of stuff. You know, you turn a plant into a creature. I still wouldn't probably put it up with like most of these B tier Pokemon.
Nope. I wouldn't either. I think High C is decent.
Yeah? I see. Alright, well then let's go to 72, Tentacool. For me, Tentacool's okay. He's middle of the pack, water Pokemon. I'm also not huge on water Pokemon, I suppose, for the most part.
There's some that I like more than others. But Tentacool's not one.
I'd probably say D.
Yeah.
For Tentacool.
I was going to argue with you against the C.
Because you wanted him in D?
Yeah.
Okay, well then how about his evolution? Tentacruel, I think looks a lot cooler.
And you can...
Ironically.
You can write on his head, right? Like, isn't that what they do when they...
I don't know.
Because Misty has a Tentacool.
Does she? I know that there was like one in the bathing suit episode or whatever they had.
Yeah. Wasn't that hers?
No. It was like attacking. It was like a kaiju monster or something, I thought.
Oh, yeah,
it was
that's
like really
right.
and it ate them all. Or something. I don't know. I don't remember what happened. I would say it's above Tentacool. I'd probably go maybe in the C tier.
It's kind of freaky looking.
Kind of freaky looking, it is. Yeah, and then they made some new versions of it and stuff too, in Scarlet Violet.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool.
So, I don't know. I'd probably go C, kind of a middle of the pack
He's
for
like
me.
the original jellyfish.
The original jelly.
And then they've done several other jellyfish since him.
Okay.
But he is so much cooler than the new frilly looking ones.
What about Inkay and Malamar?
I like Tentacruel better.
Oh, man. Alright. Geodude!
Another evolutionary line that I really enjoy.
I don't know why I like this rock so much.
Because it's Brock's Geodude.
Maybe. I'd probably go B for Geodude. Though I'd probably say Graveler is lower for me.
I can see that.
I think... I don't know why...
No, he's there with Machoke, though.
Is he? I don't know why he has 4 arms. I always wondered that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Isn't it weird? I would say Graveler for me is a C.
What about Gollum, then?
I don't know. He lost his arms.
Again. like he grows them.
Like, I don't know why he grows 2 arms and then they go away.
Yeah.
Unless, like, this was supposed to be, like, Machamp. You know? I don't know.
Yeah, once you said
weird.
that, I'm like, oh,
So, Gollum, honestly, I don't know. I'd probably put him in B below Geodude.
Okay.
I like Geodude more than I like the other 2.
I don't know. It was definitely another evolutionary line that I enjoyed playing with.
Sure.
In, like, different card games or...
Okay, so where would you want him to be?
Even on video games. B tier is where I'd put him as well.
Okay.
Probably the same as Geodude. I wouldn't be too particular about lower or higher than Geodude.
I don't know why I like Geodude more, I just do. But
because he's portable, he's smaller, he's like a pebble.
Sure.
Then he grows into a boulder.
Boulder. Alright, well we'll go with that for B tier, and then Gravel goes to C. How about this horse Pokemon?
Bonita!
F? I'd probably go Ponyta C for me. I think it's like a cute Pokemon and stuff, but I preferred the other fire Pokemon, especially in Gen 1.
Well, especially with Growlithe.
Its speed was really good, though, which was nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's a horse fire Pokemon, so that was
Typical.
definitely, like, would be B tier with me for,
Okay.
like, Growlithe and Psyduck, and Ponyta would be some of my more favorite ones. Because I love Ponyta. But I'm okay with keeping him as C as long as Rapidash goes to either B or A.
B or A, huh? Okay. Well, where is he with, like, Arcanine, Alakazam?
I mean, I guess he's below Arcanine.
Yeah, I'd probably say B tier then. I'm okay. I like Rapidash. Like I said, Rapidash typically similar to Ponyta. It's usually a higher speed that they have, so you have like a speedy fire Pokemon, which is really cool. But I also preferred Arcanine, I think, and Growlithe.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, those two were my favorite, but I really love what they do with horse Pokemon. Like, I just like seeing how they can adapt them and change them slightly to actually make them a playable Pokemon.
Now, the new versions of Ponyta and Rapidash, I'd probably put higher.
Those would be like A tier. They are beautiful.
I like the looks of them a lot.
Yes.
All right, well, we'll keep Rapidash in B then, and bring out Slowpoke. I mean, Slowpoke is such a silly, weird Pokemon.
Similar to Psyduck,
but
though.
I like him a lot. I love this idea of him leveling. Is like he can't feel things for 5 seconds. That's how slow he is. His brain just doesn't compute it right away. It's just a fun idea. And like, I don't know if he's necessarily based on anything. He's just big old pink, four-legged.
I thought he was a hippo.
Is that what he is?
I don't
Does
know.
that look like a hippo?
I don't know.
Like, it just feels a little bit more unique, I think, than some other Pokemon do, you know?
Well, then what's Machop?
Machop's just like a little boy. You know, I don't know. Like, there's a few Pokemon in Gen 1 that are just kind of people-ish.
Yeah. True.
But I would put Slowpoke in B, I think. Where would you put him?
With Psyduck.
With Psyduck?
I think they both are like the similar derpiness.
Well, going on with the derpiness, what about Slowbro?
I mean, I like the lore of how he becomes Slowbro. Like, because he's like
Fishing for shelter?
and then boom. But I don't like him as much as Slowpoke.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I mean, I like the design of it and everything. But I mean, I don't know. I like him in Pokemon Unite. I might say I just put them both next to each other. I don't know. I'm thinking about him in Gen 1. I'm thinking about him in Pokemon Unite. Like, I've enjoyed playing him. He's a fun character. They made him a Galarian version too, which is like a neat way of kind of
like
changing him up. And he has like, a little Mega Buster thing from Mega Man. Like, there's some cool things that they've done with this Pokemon, and I feel like he's more unique than a lot of other Pokemon, like Bellsprout and stuff, you know? Like, this is just a unique design.
And I do like how, like, with his other evolutions, with Slowpoke's other evolution, it makes sense that, you know, he was dipping his arm in the water. Mm-hmm. And that's where it ended up versus his tail. Like,
just, ooh, ah. Yeah, I'd love to see that.
It makes sense. Versus some of the evolutionary lines are like, how did we get here?
Sure. Well, and then we even get to Slow King somehow, right?
Yeah.
So.
Which he took it off his tail and put it on his head.
I don't know, it has to do with the King's Rock too, and I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But are you okay with B?
I guess so.
The Slowbro. All right. What about Magnemite?
I really enjoyed playing with him in my deck. Not a big fan of him in general, though. It's a different concept because it's inanimate objects being put together.
Sure. It's an interesting electric type Pokemon. Because trying to think of Gen 1 Pokemon, I think most of the electrics. Well, I don't know. They do a little mixture, right? You have like Pikachu and Zapdos, but then you also get like Magnemite or Voltorb, where it's like here are objects that are kind of creaturey. I think I'd just go with C.
Yeah. I mean, especially if you put Ponyta there. Yeah.
Sure. What about you take 3 of them together, tape them up with duct tape?
Which I like this as an evolution. It makes sense.
The one thing I remember is in Pokemon Snap on 64 is you have Magnemites running around and you throw out your little apples and then they're all like, ooh, apples, and they get together. And when they get too close, like, and then now now they've evolved into another Pokemon. And I always thought it was really cool to have these like evolution things you could do in Pokemon Snap and be able to see it and kind of add it to the lore of like how they operated and worked.
Yeah.
I don't know how you get to Magnezone, but I think it's a fun idea.
That's one of those evolutions and I'm like, huh?
All right, well, where do we put Magneton?
C tier for me as well. Magneton.
Yeah, I think I would agree. Far-fetched.
D tier for me.
He's not one of my favorite. I mean, I like, in the anime, he has a little bit of character to him and everything.
Yeah.
I like that he has his little leak that he fights with. I like what they did with him in the Galar region.
But we're not there yet. We're still in Gen 1.
D.
So far-fetched for that D at the end.
All right.
He's not really F for me.
How about this duo? It's not one of my favorites. I'd probably go E.
Yeah, he's
I don't have much
annoying. Yeah, I can't play with him. I can't do anything with him. He just runs around.
He's really fast though.
Yeah.
Even Pokemon Unite, when you get to Dodrio,
Mm-hmm.
Dodrio is like just speeding around all over the place.
Yeah.
With all his heads just pecking at stuff.
I just find them annoying. I find chickens annoying. I got chased by lots of chickens whenever I was growing up.
I will say, as far as bird Pokemon, I would pick Fearow, I'd pick Pidgey, I'd pick, you know, like, there's several other Pokemon. I'd pick Farfetch'd.
This one can't even fly. It's not really a bird Pokemon. It's an ostrich. Like, I understand what it's based off of, but...
It's like an ostrich dodo, right? Because, like, Doduo, it's just a double dodo.
Even in Pokemon Go, I don't even like him, so...
Alright. How about Seal?
He's adorable. But I never did much with him.
Me either.
He's like a C tier.
I think I agree. It was not one that I really did a whole lot with. I didn't really play with them much. The other Pokemon, it's a thing. Like, part of this is, what Pokemon would I have preferred to play with if I was going through and catching them all and being like, all right, let me make my team, who do I want to use? Versus like a Nuzlocke where it's like, well, I guess I have to use this one, you know? All right, so then we have Dugong, which I think I like a little more.
It's so much prettier than Seal.
I mean, they just kind of got rid of the teeth and made it longer. I think like the real version of this was like Poplio and Primarina. You know, like I think eventually they got to what I was like, that looks cool. That's a neat design. This is just, yeah, white Seal.
I think it's there with Seal with me.
Yeah. Like it's probably a little better than Seal for me. But
like he doesn't get worse. I don't think he goes to D, but he's not up there with Machoke and Golem for me.
Yeah. I like a lot of these Pokemon in B much more than Dugong. What about Grimer?
You just sludge.
This is one of the things that I think about when people are like, oh man, Pokemon design. Now we have ice cream cones. I'm like, what? This is just a blob. It's a blob of just grime.
Like dirt and grime. Like Grimer.
But with that said, I didn't dislike him.
No.
I didn't think he was dumb or anything. And he was just a straight up poison Pokemon. I think there's a lot of poison Pokemon in Gen 1. But I do like Grimer a good bit. I think I'd probably keep him in C though. Yeah,
I can see that. Along with all of those, that makes sense.
You can see that.
Well.
All right. Well, what about Muck? I remember my thoughts of Muck. I remember the card. I like the card art on it.
It's so shiny, like so many colors. And...
and I'm excited for like talking about the Alolan forms of a lot of these Pokemon and stuff too, and what they did with it. They gave it like an iridescent look and stuff too. I'd probably, for me, put Muck in B.
He's higher than Grimer. He's either high C with low B.
Okay. Well, I'd go with the B area then, if that's good with you. And then we can kind of maybe adjust things later. But no, I get you. Like, I think I like Machop better, or like Abra, you know, Slowbro. I think I like all those better than Muck, but I think I like Muck more than like Meowth and Primeape and stuff like that. What about Shelder?
We have to have him so then we can have our Slowbro.
Yeah.
But other than that, no. He's pretty lame.
I like the little tongue and stuff sitting out, like a little clam.
Yeah, like his little character development is adorable.
Maybe C tier? Or are you thinking like not
I
even
was
C
thinking
tier.
D, but he's fun to look at.
It's fun
Fun
to look at.
concept.
I like when seeing them like swim and they like close their shells and like. I think that's really cool.
Like a clam. Yep.
Sure. I've never seen a clam swim. I've seen a shelter swim. How about the evolution line of Cloyster?
Cloyster's so much cooler.
It looks like a Ghastly stuck in a shell. I always thought that when I was younger.
I mean,
It also has other looks, but
he has very different looks.
I would put him in a B tier, I think.
Yeah. I don't mind the look of him, so.
Very yonic. Let's move on then to number 92, Ghastly. We just talked about Ghastly being in here. This is one of my favorite
Another
lines.
fun evolutionary line.
It's, yeah, like, I think I agree with what you were saying. Like, there's a few lines where it's like, I enjoyed the whole line.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily every Pokemon where I'm like, every line of this is really fun. I'd probably put Ghastly in B.
Yep, I agree.
Haunter is next, which I like his look too.
I do, and he's different. I still say B.
All right. I think Haunter I used to like as my favorite. But as time's gone on, though...
I liked his personality in the show, like where he'd go around and just...
Yeah. Well, they were like tricksters and stuff a little bit, right? But as time has gone on, I really started liking Gengar a lot more.
I will let you put him where you want.
I want him at least an A.
Yeah. I mean, he's such a good Pokemon to play with, too, though.
Honestly, I think I'd put him in the S tier. Especially if you're looking at just Gen 1, like... The way special worked and stuff was cool. The downfall, though, was that, like, Ghost fought Ghost. And Ghosts were good for Psychic. But he was Ghost and Poison, which meant Psychic were also strong against him.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like he was amazing with that. But for fighting a lot of other Pokemon, he was good. Yeah. And he had, I think, Levitate back in Gen 1. Or at least earlier days. They got rid of it back in, like... Was it X and Y, maybe? Or Sun and Moon? I think Sun and Moon, they got rid of it.
Oh, really?
Which was too bad because being a poison Pokemon, it was cool being able to be immune to ground
attacks, yeah.
So, but no, Gengar is just, I think it's been one of my favorite. I loved what they did with his Mega Evolution. They made him a big old giant carnival ride.
Yeah, I know, with his tongue just hanging out.
They made him a fun house and stuff, and I think a lot of that stuff was really cool, so.
Yeah, I really like Gengar as well. He's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed Haunter, like I said in the show. Mm-hmm. Even in the game, like you walk through the building and whatnot, and like they just pop out at you, and like, so it's a fun evolutionary line. I'm not against Gengar being an S tier.
All right, cool. I'm glad we kind of agree on that one. All right, number 95, we have Onix, Brock's other Pokemon. I mean, he's just one of the first ones we see, but...
Yeah, I don't dislike him. I don't like him. Like...
Maybe a C tier?
Or a D, yeah.
Yeah, I was debating on D a little bit, but... I don't know. I like what they do with him in Gen 2. For Steelix and stuff. I think it's cool to add more to him, but... Alright. I'll go with D tier.
He's like a rock worm.
Yeah. And given that, I mean, it's similar to Geodude, but, you know, he's in the first gym. 2 of the Pokemon that you can pick from the very beginning are strong against him, you know? Like, yeah. How about the next one being Drowsy?
He's just so derpy.
He's fun. I like him a lot.
I do too. He's there with like Psyduck for me. You just, I don't know. It looks like a little toddler with too big of pants that he has drawn up.
I get what you mean, yeah. Like he's just wearing pants and that's it. I don't know. I think I like Psyduck more. But I think that he's fun. If you evolve him, it's not that I like him more, but some of the story and how creepy they use him, especially like in the anime, where he's like hypnotizing people and people are turning into like mindless little, I don't know, they don't remember stuff, and I don't know. I'd say probably
like
B tier because it's just a cool character, lore-y creepiness to it as well.
Yeah, I like Hypno. That was another holo card that I would love just to look at.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He's might be there with Alakazam for me.
Really?
And Drowsy might be there with Psyduck with me.
All right. What if we move Hypno up? Because I'm okay with Hypno going up. Drowsy.
Look, he's derpy like Psyduck and like Slowpoke.
Yeah, he's cuter than a lot of other things. Like, I like his look. I like the idea. I'll go with B. We can do that.
He's like an anteater. Like, he's just
does,
so
yeah, I know.
cute.
They look like anteaters. You're right. All right, we'll go with B. How about Krabby?
I don't like crabs.
You don't like crabs?
I don't like crabs. They freak me out. Just the way that they walk. I cannot watch them walk. It just freaks me out. Like their little legs. I would prefer to watch spiders than crabs.
Okay. Well, I mean, Krabby is just a crab.
And he's cranky. He crabby.
Sure, yeah, he is. Pinches ash and stuff like that.
I know. Ouch. This gotta hurt. Ah.
I would say D.
Okay. I put F.
You put F? Really?
Yeah, I don't like crabs.
Then I guess we'll go with E. What about his evolution? A bigger crab.
I know, it's freaky. Now, if it was cooked and on my plate, I'd be okay.
Imagine how much meat you get in that
I
claw.
know, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
I believe I've read that, like, they're sought after. Like, these and Crabominable both have, like, really good crab meat or something like that. I like him more than Krabby, so I'd like him to go a little higher. It's at least, like, this is just a crab. This is a crab, but at least, like, he has, like, a little crown because of king. He has a big king crab claw.
The concept is fun.
It's a little different.
I don't know.
But,
I guess I haven't looked at it too hard because it just gives me the heebie-jeebies. I don't know why.
All right.
I can eat them without a problem, and that's usually with the shell on.
But if they're alive, you're like,
Yep.
Well, it's like a spider that can pinch you.
Ugh.
Right?
Just like praying mantises. I don't like praying mantises.
Scyther, Melanie.
I know.
Voltorb is our next one. Number 100. Where do we put this living Pokeball?
Pokeball.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it right in the middle for right now. Look at that, that's cool looking. Voltorb, I think when you look at the idea of like Pokemon that are just like, well, that's kind of lame. I think Voltorb is like one of the lamest designs of the Pokemon Gen 1.
But it's clever that they came up with, well, what else can we make into a Pokemon? The Pokeballs that we've been using the whole entire time.
Sure.
And then you accidentally grab one instead of a Pokeball.
Yeah, I guess so. Now, with that, because of having Voltorb, when you get to Legends Arceus, I think it's really cool that they ended up making Hisuian Electrode and Voltorb, which were based on their Pokeballs, which were more made of wood, so they became grass and electric.
That's fun.
And I thought that was a fun way of taking what we've made. Now, given that I'm like, this isn't the best design because you're just taking the Pokeball and making it alive, I feel like.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, what does it evolve into? It's like, well, just flip it over.
Flip it over.
You know?
I know. Okay.
So I like what they did with Voltorb in doing the Hisuian version.
But he's still lame.
But I don't know. I like Electrode better.
But E for Electrode.
I'd probably put him like in.
Why do you
C.
like him better? It's the same thing.
Because he had a hollow. Because he's smiling and not angry. I don't know. I like his card more. I don't know what it was about him. There was just
his card more because it was holographic.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like him more than him. He's stronger, faster. Like there's some good uses at least fighting with him. Make Voltorb has less uses fighting with him, you know? Like what would you put Electrode?
Same as Voltorb.
Just put them both in E?
A little bit higher, maybe D.
Alright, well if your vote is E, I'll put him in D. Because I vote C, you vote E, that averages to D.
Alright.
Alright? But at least we didn't put both balls in D. Alright guys, that is going to be all that we're covering right now for our ranking. We are 2/3 of the way done. So we have just a few more Pokemon to get through, and eventually we'll be getting to Mew. And then we'll take a little glance at everything that we placed and try to figure out if there's any that we should move. So make sure you guys let us know down in the description below, what is your favorite Pokemon? Do you think that we should be maneuvering a few of these Pokemon to other locations? Or do you think that they're kind of sitting pretty where they are right now? How do you feel so far, Melanie, about where we're at with some of these? Good?
I'm liking it, yeah.
Alright. Alright, well, these are our thoughts. We'd like to know what your thoughts are. Let us know down in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe. And until next time,
feel your Pokemality.
Bye.
Bye.